Hello, Lisa. Nice to see you. Hi.
Yeah.
Cool. Today is our ninth Get Mindful talk.
Amazing, huh?
I'm so excited. That's so cool. So let us do a quick recap about last week. Last week we talked about our values and talked about why is more important than what we do. And then we both decided that as next topic, as good and logical follow-up, we would like to talk about aversion and attachment. And what we mean by this is that, not mean, but what we would like to find out is, why is it not that good to be either very attached to something or refuse something totally? Because talking about our inner attitude and why we want to do something, it might be that we tend to something, and that it could be follow your bliss, and there I want to go very much. But when it's kind of too strong, it's like the two poles, then it gives us some hints. So let us start at this point, Lisa. What is it what we need to know or be too careful with attachment and aversion?
Yeah, I think if we could begin kind of to touch back on what we talked about last week with our values.
Yeah.
And, if we stay in contact with our values, I think we realize more and more that there are several ways or thousands, gazillions of ways to fulfill or to live those values.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens, I think, that tends to lead to unhappiness, because we talk about attachment and aversion as these are kind of these surefire ways to be unhappy, is to really hold on to something or really push something away. And that, I think, happens when we get fixated on a position. When we think, I want security, and I believe that having A, B, or C will give me security, and that is the only way I can have that. Or I want a certain, I want success, and I believe that, keeping this job or working in that area or doing something very specific is the only way to experience success. And this, I think, is the problem, is we tend to fixate on a position, because we believe that this position or this thing, this event, this something happening or having something will give us what we really want, which is the feeling of success, or the feeling of happiness, the feeling of security, the feeling of connection. And we neglect to realize that that is just one of many different ways that we could use to experience that value that we're actually seeking. So in aversion and attachment, in holding on to something or pushing something away, is generally happens when we have fixated on a position. So we fixate on this one thing, so we hold on to that, and we push away everything else.
Yeah, and position in this context means like that's the only way how we can reach it. We talked last week about the navigating star and then our sailing mode, and when we say, okay, that's the only route we can get to our direction or destination.
Right.
Yes, and
it also, I think, comes from the fact that these greater values, these things that we really want, we see them as a destination and not as a decision, because we were talking about security, we were talking about maybe success, and we were talking about happiness. And all of these are qualities. They're qualities of life. And I think when we're looking at our true values, our true inner goals, they're qualities, not nouns. They're not things.
Yeah.
And qualities, we can't reach a quality. A quality can only be the way we do something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's if we get fixated on a position, which is on a person, a thing, having something or achieving something or buying something, holding on to a person, a relationship, we're neglecting the quality. And so we're going to inevitably be unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking a little bit more about attachment and then later on about aversion. So attachment, you said, is when we think like this is the only way how we can reach it. But I guess sometimes it's like so difficult to see the other options, like especially when, for example, the job circumstances or job situation, then you think, okay, but now I have a secure job and a very good contract, and I have to earn my money, but maybe inside you have this, you also always say, I have a feeling that, yes, there are some, that it's not in the flow. And then it's not that easy. Oh yeah, yes, let's quit the job and I look for a new one. It's not that easy to take this decision, even when I found out that this could be the reason why I'm feeling like not really good inside me. So how can we approach us to see the other options?
I think the art of letting go is it's not all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think letting go begins simply with loosening our grip.
Yeah.
With kind of, we have this fist, we hold on to things, and it's not about opening up and letting everything go immediately. It's about just loosening that grip and realizing that there are other things in life, and that there are other ways to make us happy, and that remembering that everything is transient. Everything comes, it stays for a while, and then it goes again. Everything that's wonderful and everything that's less than wonderful, shares this quality. And if we get too future oriented, that means really looking at goals. We tend to miss the here and now.
Yeah.
We spoke a few times about this goal orientation as opposed to a process orientation, and I very much so represent the process orientation. See those goals, see those places, that things that we'd like to achieve, and then concentrate again on the here and now, on this moment, on this day, on this, what we're doing right now, this activity, because this is where beauty is really found. This is where joy and happiness is really found. And the more we can get in contact with that innate happiness that the here and now offers us, the easier it is to loosen our grip. Because more and more we realize that happiness is found not outside of ourselves, but within ourselves. So happiness really is I
once got a postcard with a quote, happiness is an inside job. I like this a lot.
It is. Happiness is the how and not the what.
Yeah.
The more we concentrate on the how, the more we open up about that what. Anyway, that happens all on its own. It's not something that we have to do. Oh, I need to let go of that goal. No, because that's going to feel like we're not getting something. We're intentionally saying, no, I don't want that. But deep inside, we think, yes, we do. So if we more concentrate on simply this moment, in living this moment and being in this moment and finding happiness in that, resting in this moment, the easier the letting go process just sort of takes care of itself.
Yeah. And what I like with how you describe it, like losing grip, also that we kind of like open our view and see more options. So I like it a lot that the kind of metaphor that there are always doors are opening. You just have to recognize them, see them, and then walk through if you like to walk through. But sometimes at least it's my experience, we are so much focused on something in the future and so like attached, so stick to it to get exactly there in exactly that way what we thought or decided that this would be the best one, which makes us the most happiest, so that we don't see all other options along the way, and therefore I think losing grip is quite a good phrasing it, because let go is always like, oh God, how should I let go and how should I be happy in this second when I'm just not feeling happy. But losing grip, I think it's allows us to see doors along the way which very likely will open.
And if I can touch on that word focus that you used, I think that's also a very valid statement. We tend to get this tunnel vision that, you know, we want that and we just see that in front of us and we concentrate on focus on that at the expense of everything else. And so we don't see anything else. And if we can kind of concentrate on our peripheral vision, looking at something narrows our vision, and looking our vision to the peripheral vision opens us up and brings us also into the present moment. So if we can practice all day opening up our peripheral vision, this helps enormously to bring us back into the here and now. And the coming into the here and now, you know, the opening up of the peripheral vision. And then one major word is simply, and this, relax.
Yeah.
Breathe out. I think letting go, loosening the grip is all about just relaxing and seeing what is, you know, happening right now, hearing what is happening right now, opening up that peripheral vision. The more often we can do that, the more we find happiness. You know, the more we come into the here and now, and the more we're in the here and now, the more happiness we find, because the here and now is innately happiness. It's peace. The issues and the problems that we have around the here and now are always mental stories.
And what I also liked so much for exactly this relaxing in the moment is to be aware of it, that we all have like 24 hours a day and that there's always something to do. So it doesn't matter if it's work related or private stuff or household stuff or kids stuff or whatever. So there's always something to do. But when you're always in kind of a hurry and stressed and next I have to do this and that and that, then this relaxation comes not up, and then we miss the doors who are opening up.
Absolutely. And this has become this disease of our time, is this constant busyness and this stress and having to do and to do and to do, that we miss this whole being quality. And this being quality is what really makes life worth living. This is where happiness is rooted, in this relaxation. And like you say, realizing, most of us will always have a full desk. We will always have something to do that we haven't done. There's always the opportunity to do more, to accomplish more, to get more done, to, you know, be industrious. And our value is not found in our industriousness. And happiness is not found in our productivity. Happiness is found not in the what, but in the how.
And the productivity would lead us again to the what we do, right?
Exactly, because if we focus on our tasks, you know, we have this list and we want to work the list off. And this is very, you know, goal oriented. That again is looking into the future. And what happens is this becomes a mental habit. And the mental habit that we have is, I always look to the future. I'm here now, but then I see what I've got to do, or I see where I want to go. And so I've got this mental habit. So when I get there where I wanted to go, then I don't enjoy that. I see the next place I want to go. So I never really get there. And it's a mental habit. And it's on the mental habit that we need to work if we really want to find lasting happiness and peace. It's seeing this mental habit and and stepping out of that as much as possible. And the stepping out of that is this relaxation.
Yeah.
Into what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, maybe what I'm eating, what I'm tasting, what I'm smelling. Right now in spring, for example, smelling is wonderful with the lilac blooming and so many other wonderful. So, there's so much we can hear, we can see, we can smell, we can taste, and we can feel. If we relax into that, then we get more and more in touch with that innate happiness, and we begin to break down that mental habit of looking to the future, for our fulfillment. Well, what we still have to do, and we have to get done.
Yeah, right. And also to talk about the other part, the aversion, a little bit more in detail. So why is it so kind of dangerous? You said there is kind of dangerous hints for us when we kind of think, oh no, I know it for me, this is not good for me, or I absolutely don't want to do this, or the stories we are telling us ourselves so that we refuse to do it and pushing it back. Why is it so, why do they lie so many insights in it to have a deeper look at this?
Aversion is just the other side of attachment. Course, it's not
exactly, therefore
it's not a thing in itself. It's just the other half of attachment. It's what I don't want as opposed to what I do want, because if I can identify what I do want, then I also identify what I absolutely don't want. And there's lots of things. As soon as I say what I do want, then everything else is what I don't want. So aversion is a very large thing, and what aversion tends to do is it makes us close down. Because we close down to what we don't want, and we contract physically and mentally. And it's the contraction that if I don't want that, then I have to hold on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically the same mechanism, just with an extremely negative touch. This pushing away. And this, oh no, and this whole physical contraction and this mental contraction goes with it. And that, of course, is, not real comfortable.
And knowing our values, and then maybe having the kind of clue that we know what it's kind of good for us, or fulfilling our values or not. Like where does it start? Where does it end? That we kind of say, we are deciding it, in line with our values, or we are deciding it because we don't want this and we don't want that, and we want to kind of stay in our comfort zone.
Yeah. I think, again, it's this ability to be in the present moment and to get in contact with our kind of our gut feeling. And not to intellectualize everything. There's the intellect is an extremely important tool, and God knows, human beings have profited and benefited enormously from our intellect. But our intellect is not always the best tool, to make decisions. And many decisions just can't really be quantified in that way. And so it's best to again retreat into the present moment, and to be there with it in this quietness of quiet mind. And oftentimes that's where the solution is to be found.
That's when you're quiet, right? Be still. We had this.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Thank you so much. Just to keep our talks to less than 30 minutes, I would say that's a very good point to stop the talk for today. So let me quickly summarize it up. We said, of course, attachment and aversion, like two sides of one medal, and they are like the highway to unhappiness. Like, that brings us very quickly into unhappiness. with attachment, it's meant to hold on something, and when this means that we stick to a position, and then we miss the qualities of the moment, and our like highest values of like security, happiness, or also success are more the qualities than, and more the process than the goal itself, because they are no things. And so it's to get there, that we avoid the attachment, and to see other options, that there's not the only way to get there wherever we want to get, is to let go and to be in the moment. And also that letting go does not mean all or nothing, but that there are also some routes in between which you can take. Exactly, and that it's very helpful to lose grip, to come into this relaxed state, and then to rather establish the relaxed state as a mental habit than the stressed state of our mind. Exactly, and then talking about aversion, it shows us the same as attachment, just in the way that we pushing something back, when we're pushing it like too hard back, and that also close us down, and not only from from body and from mind perspective. So we are closed down, and again don't see the different options and possibilities we have. It leads directly into contraction. And also here, it's that important to find contact to the present moment and to the gut feeling, and to try to take the decision less from an intellectual point and more from the gut feeling, more from the intuition. Great. Perfect. Thank you so much, and we will talk to each other on Thursday again.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.